Welcome back. I'm Diane Macedo. We have breaking news. The grand jury investigating former President Trump's role in the hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels is not convening today. They were scheduled to meet to weigh potential charges against the former president, but sources tell ABC News that won't happen now until at least tomorrow. Senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky joins me live from the courthouse in Manhattan, along with attorney Jeffrey Robbins, with more on this. Aaron, what's the latest?
The grand jury is not meeting today. We don't know whether it was a pre-scheduled thing or whether they were called off because maybe a witness wasn't available. There's no telling why. But it means that any potential indictment of former President Trump will now come Thursday at the earliest. But it's also possible, again, Diane, that there are additional witnesses the grand jury wants to hear from. Remember, it was former President Trump himself on social media on Saturday morning who sort of got everybody excited about his impending arrest that he said would come Tuesday. And that did not materialize. And now we know that the grand jury has been meeting, well, since January, hearing from more than a half dozen witnesses over the course of the last several months about hush money paid to Stormy Daniels and whether that's a predicate for a potential criminal charge, which now the earliest it could come in the form of a true bill would be tomorrow.
Jeff, how unusual is it for a grand jury to cancel a meeting like this? Is there anything to read into this?
Well, hey, Diane, there could be so many different explanations for this, as Aaron suggested. It could be the schedule of some of the grand jurors. It could be the decision to respond in some way to the testimony earlier this week of Team Trump lawyer, Mr. Costello. It could be coordinating security arrangements with the court or with New York City, or even arrangements with the Trump team. So there's no way of telling. It could also be, as long as we're speculating, that the DA is still kind of thinking about additional hooks for this kind of misdemeanor felony combination. We simply don't know, but it looks as though they're moving forward in any event.
Now, Aaron, Trump predicted, as you mentioned, that he would be arrested yesterday. He said it was going to happen, and he called on his supporters to protest when it did. Of course, that didn't happen. But what's the scene like there now?
Well, there is some extra metal barricades that are up. I think that's to account for all the members of the press that have descended on the courthouse here in Lower Manhattan. There's no sign of any protest. There's the odd sign holder that walks up and down the block, but there's no real scene here. And now with the grand jury out of session, there's no possibility that an indictment could be returned today.
Jeff, the next time the grand jury could convene would be as early as tomorrow. What are you watching for?
Well, theoretically, at least, if they do vote on an indictment, it will be secret for the moment. But as we've seen before, there has been a practice here, particularly on the part of Team Trump, of releasing or leaking information that they get. So my guess is that we're going to know one way or the other what comes out of tomorrow's session. And if we do learn about it, it's likely that it'll come, if passed as prologue, from Mr. Trump himself.
Aaron, this is just one of several investigations into former President Trump. If he is indicted in this case, could that affect the other cases at all?
Not really. They're all running separately, and the prosecutors that we know of are not talking with one another. The prosecutor in Fulton County in Georgia over election result tinkering, the special counsel investigating both January 6th and the handling by Trump of classified materials. Those are all running on separate tracks. Of course, if he is ultimately charged in all of these investigations, there may be some competition for jurisdiction and his time. But other than that, these are all running separately, and that we know of, there is no coordination among the prosecutors.
Jeff, depending on the outcome here, where does this case go from here?
Well, you would expect, if there is an indictment, that within a matter of days, the former president will be required to surrender. And at that time, upon arraignment, there'll be a schedule set for the case to proceed. And there'll be discussions between counsel for Team Trump and the DA's office about the kind of schedule for moving forward, including a motion practice. That is to say, there'll be motions no doubt filed by Team Trump to try to dismiss the charges. There'll be a schedule set by the court for the resolution of this particular case.
All right. Aaron,
have I spoken on the LA school union strike? Yes, I have. Every single day, as a matter of fact. I also donated to the strike funds today. And maybe even we'll see what happens. I'm making no promises. I wanted to go to one of the picket lines as well, but logistics of that are a little bit harder to do. Just say nothing is going to happen. The media is going to edge libs so hard they either die of blue balls when he doesn't get charged or die of dehydration from throwing the fattest ropes if he does. Honestly, I don't even think the libs care all that much. That is what I feel. Like, I feel like this is not, like, nobody on TikTok is talking about this. People just, like, make memes on Twitter about how, like, he is definitely arrested with, like, AI photos and shit. No, I don't care about Jon Stewart on Crossfire. We've watched it so many times. Please stop linking Jon Stewart on Crossfire where he owns Tucker Carlson, okay? I know. I watched it before. I've watched it so many times on this broadcast. I don't want to rewatch it. Dugglesby, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. I don't even see a lot of like anger and resentment from conservatives. I mean, there is some, but certainly not what you would expect. Like, it's the anger, resentment, the activity surrounding this story is diminished in comparison to how much agitation occurred around the FBI raiding Mar-a-Lago. Kind of wild. And I think it's partially because Trump fell off. I think it's partially because, we've gone through this wave so many times over. And I think it's partially because there's not a lot of astroturfed activism from the Republican Party infrastructure. The Republican Party is not lending support to the protect Trump and defend Trump's innocence funds and projects, I guess. Like, you only see like the craziest kooks at these protests, and their numbers are diminished. Like, it's like the silence is deafening moment, I think, with respect to the protests. Before we move on, I'll hear a lot of you have been linking this to me. Anna says, I'm a woman. Please don't ever refer to me as a person with a uterus, birthing person, or person who menstruates. How do people not realize how degrading?
We begin with former President Donald Trump's efforts to mobilize support ahead of a possible indictment in New York. He remains at Mar-a-Lago today as he faces possible legal action over an alleged payoff to an adult film star. He also faces separate investigations into what happened after the 2020 election. Police are on high alert for the possibility of violence from pro-Trump extremists. And there's a new warning from Homeland Security. Robert Costa is outside the courthouse in Manhattan. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, Vlad. Former President Trump remains in Florida, huddled with his lawyers and his advisors. In a Trump campaign fundraising appeal sent Tuesday, he claimed that he could be arrested at any moment.
Guilty, guilty, guilty.
Demonstrators calling.
I love these old folks. I love these old people that are like outside. Even on the, like I said, even on the lib side, it doesn't feel like there's enough energy dedicated to this, which is kind of wild to see.
For an indictment of former President Donald Trump gathered Tuesday outside the district attorney's office in Lower Manhattan, while Trump's supporters line the road leading to Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach. Along with fundraising, Trump has used the prospect of an indictment to rally Republicans.
I just think it just kind of reeks of political revenge.
And the tough part is with a local DA playing in presidential politics. If that starts right there, don't you think it'll happen across the country?
And Kentucky Republican Senator Rand.
That's so funny. God, Kevin McCarthy is so rizless, bro. I swear to God. That's why you can only fuck Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know what I mean? You can't level up. That's it. Oh my God. Imagine we arrest the president. Then we can arrest normal people. It's like, bro, you think normal people don't get arrested for crimes? Like, what are you, fucking stupid? Like, literally, are you that fucking dumb? This is why I'm a never kever, dude. This is why I was a never kever from the goddamn jump, okay? Oh, great take from Adam Johnson. Wild to follow the casual meat grinder that is the U.S. carceral system, watch it lock up faceless poor people for low-level shit as a rule, have 25% of the world's caged population, then hear concerned legal guys on TV say, if Trump can be arrested, then who's next? Where does it stop? I don't know. It doesn't. When it's out for poor people, some Soros prosecutor wants to get Trump on a ticky-tack crime. He'll be out on bail for 10 minutes and get a fine. It's not at first they came. It's just a thing that happened. I cannot bring myself to give any number of bird shits. Yeah. It's like, what are you saying? You're like, oh my God, I can't believe they're going to arrest you for crimes now. It's like, what are you talking about, brother? Live in the real world, you fucking jackass. Live in the real world. It's the same as like the cancel culture arguments. Whenever some fucking rich podcaster goes around saying, oh my God, guys, I can't say, black people are inherently violent without everyone yelling at me. Who's next? They're coming after you too. Meanwhile, you can't even wear a t-shirt that you want to wear at your workplace without getting fucking fired. Cancel culture is real for the working class, not for you. You dumb podcaster shithead. Shut the fuck up. And the funniest part is literally just like all these dumb motherfuckers who are working class who go, yeah, that's right. That's right. What if they come after me? It's like, bro, you literally can't do any of those things that they can do up there, okay? You can't. You are not him. You're not him. You're not. You will never be him. God damn. It makes me so mad. You are not that guy, pal. You are not part of the team. You sit there defending capital owners. You sit there defending capitalists. And yet, here you are without capital. You're broke. You got a hand-me-down Honda. And you think that is your capital. It's your personal property. That's not even something you can make money off of. Can't rent that shit. You got no capital, bitch. Show me the deed to the factory. Okay?
Paul said the Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, should be put in jail. Responding to pressure, Bragg said he won't let baseless accusations deter us from fairly applying the law. Former Vice President Mike Pence, a potential 2024 rival, is discouraging protests of a possible indictment.
I think letting our voices be heard
Will Neff with a 23 month
and not engaging in protests, I think is most prudent at this time.
If an indictment is issued, law enforcement sources say Trump would likely travel to New York, where he would surrender to authorities, be fingerprinted, photographed, and arraigned before a judge. A potentially chaotic scene.
Dude, that'd be so sick. Oh, perp walk. Come on. Only 23 KW. Yeah, bro. Peter Park has been a 25-month subscriber, which is crazy. Anyway. But still love you, dude. Yeah. Get with it. Only 23 months. I have 36. I'm the true friend. Yeah. He said, you have a small... Wow. Wow. That's just... You didn't have to go there. You know what I mean? You didn't have to go there. You didn't have to betray me like this. Representative Duncan Hunter Jr. was prosecuted and pled guilty for using campaign funds to pay for an affair. Can you guess which president pardoned him? To be fair, that was valid because he used a lot of the campaign funds on V-Bucks and Steam vouchers, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's cool. I think if your crime if your campaign fund misuse is for like good reasons, then I think you should get away with it. That's my take on the matter. Like I remember, I mean, he's a shithead. Digha 5363, thank you for the 5 get the subs. Derek Cross 616, thank you for the 5 get the subs. CSGO cases is a good use of campaign funds. Yes, yeah, I went there based. Do you think Biden pardons Trump? I mean, I don't even know if it'll get there.
I can assure you that the Secret Service will be with him every step of the way.
A.T. Smith is a former deputy director of the U.S. Secret Service and ran operations in New York.
Well, this is certainly an unprecedented event, to say the least, but the Secret Service is very well equipped to handle large crowds, large visits, things that are unique in the way of protection. They're planning ahead for anything that could go wrong.
Sources tell CBS News that the Secret Service, FBI, and NYPD are working together to plan for possible disruptions in the tunnels and in the streets here in New York from protesters and in Washington.
This is like a boy who cried wolf type shit, dude. It's like the Department of Justice who cried wolf too much, you know? Over and over again. Oh, this time it's it. This time it's it. We're going to fucking arrest him. We're going to get it. We got him. It's like, where's the arrest, man? I've seen 0 arrests thus far. People don't give a shit no longer because, you know, they've been edged.
Washington, D.C., the Homeland Security Department there has issued a bulletin saying some extremists see a Trump arrest, a potential one, as a line in the sand.
All right, Bob, all eyes on that building behind you there. But let me ask you about activity overnight in connection to the federal investigation into the former president's handling of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. What can you tell us?
There is a new development, Vlad. Evan Corcoran, Trump's lawyer in the classified documents case, is being compelled to testify by a federal judge on what's called the crime fraud exemption. But the Trump team and the prosecutors there are now in a legal standoff over whether Corcoran will end up talking about his private discussions with his client, the former president.
All right, Bob, thank you very much.
Now the good shit, though. These are the real heroes, the ones who are out there doing the fucking very most, okay? This is who we need to hear from. I'm a news frog, but through and through. But, dude, I can't get into the limited test. What do you mean?
We are here at Mar-a-Lago on the Bingham Bridge, standing up to represent our great president, Donald J. Trump. What brought me here today, especially today, is because of what we were hearing in regards to that they were going to arrest Trump. We voted for him, so we want him to know we're still standing with you. We're for you, we're with you, and we will stand to the end.
I've been here, Saturday, Sunday, and last night I was here too. A bunch of us, we each slept in our cars. We stayed all night. Whether he does get arrested or indicted or whatever happens, no, not worried about it. It's a joke. It's just a joke. I mean, what's going to come out of it? Just like Russia, the impeachment. I mean, nothing's going to come out of it, so it doesn't really matter.
I want to put a smile on people's faces and kind of give them some more hope and try to get them to want to come out and show support again. I mean, a lot of people are kind of losing hope, I feel like, because of the elections, the way the elections are going. But I don't think it's a reason to stop, you know? We're out here supporting his policy and him as a presidential candidate in 2024. 2024!
More perspective now from two journalists who closely follow Trump world, CNN's Caitlin Collins and CNN political analyst Maggie Haberman, who is also the New York Times senior political correspondent. No one covers Trump better than you two, so thanks for your time tonight. I want to start with some of your reporting, Maggie, that Trump is literally preparing for his perp walk. He's actually fixated on the idea of being paraded out by authorities. Take us inside.
Sure. So Trump is posturing a strong stance, right? I'm not afraid. He's trying to project strength. He's trying to look as if he is not worried about what is coming. Now, according to people who know him very well, he has spent decades concerned about the prospect of being arrested, literally decades. And so it's hard to imagine that, this is all reality, but he is basically embracing the idea of where this is going to go. And as we've seen over time, when the Access Hollywood tape came out in 2016, he went downstairs outside of Trump Tower and immersed himself in a crowd of his supporters. He has repeatedly tried to show that he is not experiencing shame or hiding in any way. And I think you're going to see that. What exactly that looks like if he's indicted, which, all indications are that it's likely to happen, we don't know, because we don't know what this arraignment will look like. He will be the most famous
Politics is back. Wake up.
Defendant to be entering 100 or 80 Center Street. It could happen a number of ways, but I think he will want to make sure that he is seen somehow.
As we know, he loves a show, right? He wants a spectacle. But given all the security around it, as Maggie points out, the historic nature, if this happens, he might not get that spectacle.
Yeah, it remains to be seen what this actually looks like. I do think that they know that this image of him walking in, if that is what it ultimately leads to when he surrenders himself, if this indictment comes down, will be this indelible image. It will be played over and over again. I think that's why they want to project strength in that. I still think they, and by they I mean Trump's legal team and his allies, don't think the merits of this case are going to be very strong, that it ultimately will be very damaging to him. But it is something that has really bothered him. This case especially, not just because of the merits, but because it's about Stormy Daniels.
Correct.
And this has been something that, as both of you know very well, it incredibly bothered the First Lady, Melania Trump, when Trump was in the White House, and this story was in the headlines every single day. It was a huge issue during the campaign because of just the sensitivity of the nature of it. And so I think that's a big part of why it is something that has bothered him so much. I do think they are thinking of how to translate those images of, if it is him walking into the courthouse, what that's going to look like. As Kristen was noting, they've debated him giving a speech after. It remains to be seen what he does and what that looks like, but it is a very sensitive case for them.
It is, you're right, it is personally very sensitive for him. I think that for his aides, they look at it as the investigation of the 4 that he is facing. That's 4 criminal investigations, 1 in Georgia, 2 Justice Department investigations that have sort of merged into one, and this is the one they say they are the least worried about. The reality is that I'm not sure how much his political advisors actually have their hands around what this looks like. I think what the legal team says matters more here. But if this is where it stays, one advisor said to me earlier today, they feel like they can live with this politically. If it starts to become another indictment and then another indictment, that's a lot of freight. And I think they're not really sure how that plays.
Yeah, and look how Republicans are twisting themselves in knots over how to respond. They've been at this retreat in Orlando. They put out this letter from these 3 chairmen demanding testimony from Alvin Bragg. We were talking to one of the House Republicans earlier today, and I've spoken to several on the phone.
I love when the captions just literally have a heart attack, aneurysm, all rolled up into one and just go. It's like, what happened there? These machines are taking our jobs, dude.
Today about it's so unusual. They haven't even seen the charges yet. We don't actually know what he may be charged with or may not be charged with. We haven't actually seen the indictment.
Yeah, and I think that's notable, right?
Yeah, but he wants a strong response from his allies. You know how he is when he's in a time like this. He and his allies want to see this strong response coming from other Republicans, and they're sending this letter. They don't even really know what they're asking for.
But part of what they're some people around Trump are telling themselves is there's a chance that, if we keep up this pressure, that Alvin Bragg is not going to indict Donald Trump. And it's likelier to have the opposite reaction, frankly, for a variety of reasons. Alvin Bragg has made clear to his staff, we are not going to bend to these threats. I think they have said that publicly, which is pretty remarkable for the DA's office to say that. But he has also made, for Alvin Bragg, a liberal Democrat in Manhattan, being hauled before Congress by Trump's Republican allies, that's not terrible politics for him. So, this idea that they think they're going to bully him out of this, it strikes me as magical thinking.
Yeah, it was interesting because McCarthy talked about this and he said, I'm talking about Trump again because you guys are asking me about this, but then they sent the letter, the 3 chairmen sent that letter. They're also keeping it, right, center stage. There's also the classified document case that's going on, looming in all of this. Tell us about the new reporting on that, Caitlin.
Yeah, so this is Trump's attorney, his defense attorney, Evan Corcoran. They're now before a D.C. Circuit Court trying to push back on what the judge ruled on Friday, which is that they do believe prosecutors have met that crime fraud exception here. And essentially, he would have to go testify before the grand jury without being able to say, I can't answer that question because of attorney-client privilege. They want him to answer lines of questioning he previously declined to answer for that.
Dude, this is like, I mean, this is so fucking boring. Like, there is literally, I'm unironically falling asleep. We're going to talk about Justin Roiland. Apparently, Austin Ox has brought me into a secondary line of fire, more drama. Let's take a look at this. Austin Ox put out this video, apparently. Where is this? What is this? Doing a lol lamau even. Probably a better. This is probably a better video on the Trump indictment thing. This is probably one of the last things I'm going to watch on it, other than like maybe DeSantis' reaction.
Donald Trump's alleged role in paying hush money to a porn star could soon lead to criminal charges against the former president.
What is that? Okay, we'll look at that in a second.
History. Exclusive articles the Wall Street Journal published in 2018 triggered this investigation into Trump, and reporter Joe Palazzolo is still digging.
There's this.
I did not expect 5 years later.
And then there's this to talk about as well.
At all.
As a grand jury is concluding its investigation, let's look at the reporting that led to this pivotal moment and what could come next. Let's start in 2016, days before Trump's election victory, and years before porn star Stormy Daniels would tell her side in prime time.
And you had sex with him?
Yes.
You were 27, he was 60. Were you physically attracted to him?
No.
Not at all?
No.
During the 2016 campaign, Daniels and her manager were shopping her story of an alleged affair with Trump from a decade earlier.
She'd been on successful celebrity magazines, and tabloids didn't want to buy it.
Michael Cohen, Trump's personal lawyer at the time, was also approached with an offer to buy Daniels' story. That was in September.
Cohen says, go to hell, essentially. No. And then Access Hollywood happens.
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the
And then, boom, it's like a 180. Stormy's lawyer is back on the phone with Cohen, and they're hashing out a deal.
Daniels agrees to $130,000 for her story in exchange for her silence and signs a contract on October 28, 2016. Journal reporters caught wind of Daniels around this time and, over months, worked to piece the story of the payment together.
So the first story ran in January 2018. It was pretty bare bones. I mean, what we said is what we knew, which is that Michael Cohen had arranged $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels. And so we had confirmed that he'd used a Delaware limited liability company, a shell company, essentially, to transfer the payment. And so those are the two stories that we reported in 2018 that really got the ball rolling.
A political firestorm erupted.
All right, the confiscated Stormy Daniels' Molly at an ICP concert in 2018. That is an incredible sequence of words to put together.
Trump denied the affair and knowledge of the payment.
You have to ask Michael. Michael's my attorney, and you'll have to ask Michael.
Days later, FBI agents raided Cohen's home, which Trump called
A disgraceful situation. It's a total witch hunt. I've been saying it for a long time.
Federal prosecutors charged Cohen with campaign finance violations and other federal crimes. He pleaded guilty to all of the charges, telling a federal judge at the time that Trump had directed him to buy Daniels' silence.
I am providing the committee today with several documents, and these include a copy of a check Mr. Trump wrote from his personal bank account after he became president to reimburse me for the hush money payments I made to cover up his affair with an adult film star and to prevent damage to his campaign.
Despite Cohen implicating Trump in the crime, federal prosecutors dropped the case. But that still left the possibility of state charges, as the Trump Organization is based in New York. Cyrus Vance, the Manhattan District Attorney, stepped in. Ultimately, the DA's office decided not to bring charges. When Vance retired, the new DA, Alvin Bragg, initially decided not to pursue the hush money investigation.
There is a felony falsifying business records charge, but that requires the records to have been falsified to conceal another crime or to commit another crime. And, the obvious other crime here is the campaign finance crime, the actual payoff of Stormy Daniels to protect Donald Trump's campaign. But there has never been a case, or a state judge has never blessed the use of felony falsifying business records premised on a federal charge. In other words, these are state prosecutors, they're bringing a state charge, and in order to elevate it to a felony, they have to say that the crime that was concealed by falsifying these business records was a federal crime. So that's like a weird thing, and they decided it was going to be too risky to bring a case that was going to rely on an untested legal theory.
But then, in January, Bragg impaneled a new grand jury to investigate the payment.
God, how lame is that this is the lawsuit that might bring him down? Such a boring story for such a non-boring person. I don't think it's a boring story. I think it's a very fun story. It's just that, like, he's done actually, like, worse criminal things that have, like, serious criminal implications, which is why we think that this is, like, not a big deal. It says more about Donald Trump, like, and his long track record of just, like, being openly corrupt than anything else. You know what I mean? When we look at a situation where like can you imagine if this happened to Joe Biden? Like, Joe Biden's done some dog shit things, right? But overall, or like Obama, you know what I mean? Like, sure, are there other things that you could actually fucking nab him on? Certainly, right? But those are still within the boundaries of, like, I guess our legal system and what kind of corruption is, like, allowed. Okay? But, like, never forget, Bill Clinton, horrible monster, right? Horrible monster, just an awful fucking president. I mean, the impeachment proceedings were put on him over having oral sex in the fucking White House. You know what I mean? Like think about that. Like that kind of thing, like this kind of thing would be considered unimaginable, unfucking imaginable. If you were to compare, if it were to happen to like someone who is like known as like a normal fucking Democratic politician.
He hasn't said publicly why he changed course.
Everyone's surprised, frankly, because our reporting and others had shown that the office had looked at this so many times, had looked at it through kind of different lenses and decided each time not to bring it. The feds had passed up on the chance to bring it. So now here we are in 2023, and what's changed? I mean, we don't really know yet.
One thing that hasn't changed is Cohen's involvement. Trump's former lawyer testified before the grand jury last week and could be called to speak with them again.
This is all about accountability. He needs to be held accountable for his dirty deeds.
Trump has denied the affair and any wrongdoing, calling the investigation politically motivated. The Manhattan DA's office did not respond to requests for comment. If Bragg brings charges against the former president, it could shine more light on what happened in 2016.
An indictment's just an allegation, right? There are still, questions that I have even after having worked on this for so long. If the charges are focused on falsifying business records, like what did Trump know about repaying Cohen? There's a lot of sort of gaps in our knowledge about how this all went down. And then, I'm really curious to see if the DA has learned some new facts. Charges, if they come, I think would sort of begin just one more chapter.
Now to our ABC News exclusive.
You think Melania was jealous? Fuck no. I think Melania is, first of all, I don't even think Donald Trump fucks. Okay? I don't even understand what happened with Stormy Daniels. I don't think Donald Trump fucks for sexual pleasure. Okay? And that sentiment is not just my own. I think that sentiment is shared by even Donald Trump's fans. Okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I want to show you my favorite rapper. Okay? 4G Auto Blow, like an auto suck. Okay? You guys know this man. You've probably seen him before. He came out with another incredible, absolutely eviscerating, just critical support for Donald Trump ass beat. Okay? 4G Auto Blow. He's doing some self-suck again. And here he is, just in, MAGA rapper 4G Auto Blow. What is this? You haven't shown this on stream yet? Oh, yeah. I mean, that's weird as well. I don't know what the fuck was happening here, but I guess mommy-child play or daddy-daughter play runs in the family on both sides of the family. But I want to talk about 4G Auto Blow real quick, okay? Yeah, that's weird. I know. You stole that from Connor CC? Wait, what? 4G auto blow. You think I stole that from someone? That's his name. The fuck? Anyway, let's continue. MAGA rapper 4G Auto Blow drops an instant hit, slams Alvin Bragg and the corrupt government responsible for Trump's persecution. Retweet if you stand with Trump.
Major new developments involving former President Donald J. Trump. Trump saying today he expects to be arrested on Tuesday and is calling for protests.
I heard of
Before we get started, I gotta admire this man's physique. Okay, the skinny arms with the widest body is the funniest. Is one of the funnier body types that a man can have. I just know he has the tiniest ass under that white ass body too. It's like his proportions are all kinds of fucked up. You know what I mean? It's just like so odd. Like literally the tiniest, slimmest arms. Okay. And then there's the wide body with the Hank Hill ass chicken butt.
Protests.
I heard the feds want to lock up Uncle Trump. Democrats trying to lock up Uncle Trump. J6 committee wants to lock up Donald Trump. Alvin Bragg wants to lock up Donald Trump.
It's like, what is this? That's not a jail body. That's not a jail body. That's a Facebook jail body. Bro got 30 days back to back for COVID posting. Yeah.
Why them liberals try to hate on Donald Trump? Why's the left always plotting on Uncle Trump?
Why?
You know they jealous they can't be like Uncle Trump.
Boo, 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 boo.
Stand and lie on Donald Trump. You know the typical liberal out here lying again. A deep state witch hunt. They out here spying again.
Wait. Oh, gotta point this out. This man is standing at the 6 foot line. He is not 6 foot. His ass is not 6'1". Someone I saw in the replies, like he's I think like 5'8" or something. And you know, he's either standing on his tippy toes here. Or they basically lowered it for him.
7 years later, why you Jimmy still bringing it up? Stormy did it for clout. We know Trump never fucked.
This is the point that I needed to show you guys. Like I said, the reason why I brought this up is because the sentiment that Donald Trump does not fuck is not one that I believe. It is a shared sentiment by his most parasocial fans. Okay? Let's play it again.
Stormy did it for clout. We know Trump never fucked.
Stormy did it for clout. We know Trump never fucks.
A misdemeanor into a felony. And why is Rhonda silent sitting so silently? Trump's won every poll, the walking GOP. JN6 2.0, that's what they want to see. Don't put the JN6 committee right in front of me. This is for my patriots that never took that vaccine. This is a Hail Mary, it's all they got. Trump 2024, the Trump train won't stop. I heard the feds
Choo-choo.
lock up Uncle Trump. Democrats trying to lock up Uncle Trump.
Lock him.
J6 committee wants to lock up Donald Trump.
Fuck him.
Alvin Bragg wants to lock up Donald Trump.
Nah.
Why them liberals try to hate on Donald Trump?
No.
Why's the left always plotting on Uncle Trump?
Why?
You know they jealous they can't be like Uncle Trump. The type to take the stand and lie on Donald Trump. Yeah, it's the mayor Magaville, baby. All my real patriots staying tall, staying by. They trying to set us up. They ain't got nothing on Trump.
It's a setup.
Trump's already.
Wait. What? Pause. Born to ride Donald Trump? What the fuck? Wait, what? Wait a minute. This takes fuck Joe Biden into a whole different level right here. What? You want to fuck Joe? You telling me you want to fuck Joe Biden and you want to ride Donald Trump? What? I mean, I get it, but born to ride Donald J. Trump, baby. That's weird, man. That's that. I mean, I know he does have a sweet ass pussy. I know it. I know. I've seen it. But like, goddamn.
He just hit my line. Free my big uncle. Why the Democrats always hating?
Why does he have the eye bags on this fucking model, dude?
They want a Jan 6 2.0 because they didn't have nothing stick on January 6th. Patriots did nothing wrong. It's the mayor of Megaville, baby. Trump 2020.
Call Donald Chandler because I'm trying to be his Monica. I'm talking Lewinsky, not Geller. Want to hum his dick like a harmonica. Free line for him. Okay, that requires actually writing bars. So I don't think he's going to take that. Wait, does he say at the end, I'm a gay? What? Wait, what the I know. He's saying I'm a gay? That's odd. I mean, good for him, I guess. On the gang? He's saying on the gang. I've never heard that because I'm not from the mean streets of the villages. So I think that's probably why I haven't heard this slang. I'm too white. That's what's going on here. There was some new developments in the Trump classified documents investigation, which is actually a little bit different than the other RICO charge that we're talking about in Alvin Bragg, the Alvin Bragg RICO charge from New York. This is the January 6th. This is the DOJ's other, not January 6th, the DOJ's other investigation conducted into the former President Donald Trump and his mishandling of classified documents.
On developments in the investigation into Donald Trump over those classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago. Sources told ABC News that a federal judge has determined there is preliminary evidence that the former president may have broken the law. Our chief Washington correspondent, John Carl, is here with the story. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Michael. Amidst all the speculation about a possible Trump indictment coming from the Manhattan...
Indictment! He's so excited, dude.
District attorney, there's a major development in a separate federal investigation involving potentially much more serious charges involving his handling of classified documents. Added security is in place in New York amid growing anticipation Donald Trump could be indicted as soon as today in a case brought by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg regarding hush money paid to porn star Stormy Daniels. But Trump faced handling of classified documents. Judge Beryl Howell's order is sealed, but sources described its contents to ABC News, saying she wrote special counsel Jack Smith provided enough evidence, quote, that the former president had committed criminal violations. In particular, turned over all the classified documents in his possession.
I had a small number of boxes in storage.
Chat. Hasan, the H3 thing is going to be impossible till you address it. I mean, it won't be impossible. It's just like people are going bananas mode again. Hey, foot soldiers. Like way too coherent. I'm a little confused. Like, he seems to have at least a couple brain cells to rub against one another for him to, like, be there at the Trump rally. That makes no sense. Like, it's clear what he's saying. He's saying that Joe Biden is, like, not all there, so I would question whether or not he's, like, actually, you know, the true president or whatever. It's kind of like a dig at George W. Bush, you know what I mean? Everyone used to say, understandably, that, you know, he's not the... What the fuck? Bro, why are you guys taking photos of... Why are you guys taking photos of the fucking fans of mine out in the wild, dude? That's crazy. I'm not gonna show that. Yeah, I don't want to show that. I don't want to show that on stream. Come on. Anyway, stop sending me links like that. Laugh or ban me for a week is laugh or ban me for a week is always a silly take because it's almost always ban worthy, and I don't have it in my heart to ban you. Okay, I don't like that you say that.
The role of president.
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't been down. Haven't been to Washington D.C. I've not seen him walk in the White House.
You don't think he actually spends time in the White House?
I don't know.
Well, but there are videos of him in the White House. I just want to get beyond this.
He strikes me as the type of dude who would be like, I'm terrified of the big city. You know what I mean? I'm terrified of the big city, but then he like made his way down there, realized that like not everyone is getting stabbed in a corner with like heroin needles or whatever, like what he saw on Facebook. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna walk around a little bit. I'm here from Albany. You know, gonna go out there in the big city now. Gonna walk around.
Georgia next. You going there?
I don't know. Maybe I will.
No, he said Albany.
It's like a big old indictment tour, right? I'll see you in Georgia. Maybe we'll swing by D.C.
Too close to Balkan posting? Okay, dude, don't get me.
Most of what I do on this channel is up.